How are you today? So we can do it. We can do it. Yes, we can do it together as one. We can do it together as one. Where the highs and lows may be there, the fights may be there, but when we get together as one, we can do it. We can do it. So just have it out. It's my Good evening, my people.
Good evening, my people. I hope you guys are doing well. I was still catching my breath. Mvamu gym, and I found a very young instructor. Walirunga ina gas. It's like taina nyomanyi. Naye buli kyenkola ayagala gye tukole set 3. Tazimalaako naye nga ntutte. So it was around 5 p.m. when I was doing my last set of squats, and yes, it took the breath out of me. Nenga musibye mutamu asuze mutya. I hope you're doing well. Bailon Natuha Biarwe on my way home from Barara. Oh, how is that place? I don't think I've been to Biarwe. Is it? I've been to Kabale. I've been to Rukunjiri. Yes, I've been to Mbarara and all those districts that are between there. I think I've been through them. But where is Biharwe? Jaiseka Jagama, the grandchildren are on their own. John's info. Good evening, Jaiseka Jag. Gilbert Amanya, Katrina M. Benjamin. How does AC consume fuel? It does increase some consumption by a bit. It does increase by a bit, but people take certain percent. Sometimes it's more than 10%. Sometimes it's less. Sometimes it actually doesn't increase. Sometimes AC helps you reduce the fuel consumption. Like for example, if you are driving on the bypass and you have AC engaged, you have AC in your car and the windows are up, and then another person drives on the express, no AC, windows down. The person using AC would save fuel. In town, the person having windows down would save fuel than the person using AC. So you get the difference. However, personally, I find that for me, the benefits that AC gives me outweigh the increment in the money I spend on fuel. Why? The last time I had my windows halfway down, I lost a phone that was more than worth 1 million shillings. Worth more than 1 million shillings. You get it? So I lost 1 million shillings just that instant, and since then I've not been able to stomach the thing of driving with my windows down. And aside from that, I happen to have phobia that my windows could be down and someone comes out of nowhere and slaps me. So I think I'm addicted to AC right now, and I don't think I mind the extra kilometer or two that AC adds in consumption. Idris M, how are you? George Senkubugi, at 34, I don't have kids yet. I don't have grandchildren. Yagara kunkomotia uncle. George Senkubugi, ogenda kuzala. Ate bwo ogenda kuzala, abana bo bazala abana b'abana bo bagenda kuba bazu. So what are the plans you have for your grandkids? Think about it. If you ever have grandkids, what do you think their life should be like? Mugalasi Joshua Mix Farm, good evening. Joseph Bali Kudembe, Chamba de Hannington, Ndiburunji Vakwata Chuma Mujim. And of course, it's both like tiring and refreshing. Nabade Sagara Genangabas today waka. And then I thought that if I can drive to the gym today, there's nothing I'll not be able to do this week. Bakenya Abe, how are you? Kutosi Nicholas, my mentor. Can someone manage a VIT when he earns 1.5? Yes, you can. And the workplace, oh, yes, you can. But I would recommend, I would definitely recommend, Nicholas, I would recommend you get extra income, yeah? Yes, you can manage, because Bobokora, 33 kilometers, that means you're going to be driving 60 kilometers a day. You're going to be driving about 70 kilometers every day. And 70 kilometers, that means if it's in very good condition, will give you about 15 kilometers if you don't drive AC. That means you'll be driving about 2.5 liters on your journey. Is that it? You'll be driving car to buy 2 liters to work, 2 liters back home. That means now, if you drive very carefully, you can drive a number of months. So 600 off your income. Normally, what I recommend is when one of the things I started working on was a plan to make sure that I don't struggle with fuel. That's the one thing I started working on the moment I moved this way. And I think I did try to increase, and we have not struggled with fuel for a very long time. Nebo twatuuka and the fuel bwe twali twakagenda amafuta ne ganya ne gava mu 3.8 ne gayingira akasanvu. But we did not at any one time not drive the car, because that's the one thing I try to work on. So Nicholas, whatever you do, I would recommend after you buy your VITs, find other sources of income. At least find one source of income and let that source of income be the one that buys you the fuel. Don't rely on your 1.5 million a month to take care of your other needs and also buy you fuel. Yeah, that's it. And I think if you can't buy 1 liter, 1 liter will definitely be better with your kind of income. Hybrid yaffe enasobolayo Joshua, hybrid nkyagirowoozaako nzizeyo mu 30%, but yesterday was 20% onto the hybrid. Now I'm 30% onto the hybrid. Oh, and good evening. Goreti Nachinto, how are you? Serico Starch, Travel Live Log. Me too, I was like that guy in gym. Now I'm getting better each day. Derek Lule, good evening. Jerisha Motors, how are you? I thought I'm alone, but today, Nagumie, I'm approaching 28 years. Nini Nesubi, I will have children. I'm Sagittarius and will have children, but at 33, will have gotten my firstborn. So help me God. Now, me, one of the things I made sure to do is I tried as much as possible to have my last born at 30. Ngambala nti abaana abasomera emyaka 23 bwe bakoze courses zaffe za bulijjo emyaka 3 by 23 years they're getting out of campus, yeah, and that means I'll stop paying tuition when I'm 53, latest 55, and if they do those very long courses around 57 yakuba mazoku werera. So that was the math I did, and the sooner you guys have kids the better. Neka jimpa persistent ochikolotia zengabiganya Huntington sagala kubeera mutodo. That's the one thing I don't like. Ate sagala gejja bya masavu ogejje bya masavu changu ne ogejje bya maso kizibu. So I don't want to be small. I've in my family people are small, and one way for me to grow big the good way is to actually lift. So kati wakanyine ebyuma. Sometimes I just feel like I need a little more push. Seeing a bench, dumbbells, like 20 kg. When this student am week, put it on a younger deco. But once in a while, mbanja ganengenda ko mu gym, wali bench, wali extra, waba uno montomola. When you have a partner you work out with, then the zeal is even more. I also feel that every man should go to the gym and look a little mugged. It does not only intimidate people that would want to attack you, but it also makes you look a little bit more attractive. Even small people can be mugged in their own way. For example, if you look like at Chris Fitness, for example, Mutono is a small guy, but he's mugged in his own way. So you can be small and still be mugged. You can still be big and also be mugged. But generally, me, I think I was looked down upon when I wrote proposals to big companies simply because I was small, and I figured I should add a little more weight, and the best way for me to add a little more weight is by having more muscle. So that's why I continuously go to the gym. Nasubako contract olokuba nali ndabika nga tapatanga kwezo sente. Of course I was young then. I was about 22 years. Makes sense. And right now I don't want to ever walk into a boardroom and the guys feel like kana kasajja kano kaavu tekakwatanga ku sente. So I want to walk into a room even when I didn't come in an expensive car. If I walk into a room, you know the African mindset okujja konga, if you're small you better have a very expensive car, have expensive perfume on, have expensive clothes on, something I don't think I can do persistently. But I can persistently go to the gym and lift my weights. So one of the things that I do before I go out to any meeting, if I have a meeting on Monday, Saturday will be strict workout, Sunday will be strict workout to gain, to get some gain, so that when I walk into that office, I'm also a little bit intimidating. Now, I know my things, sigana mu meeting just manyibe ngenda kwogera, but sometimes ojja kwogera byoyogera, but because you don't look the part. So that's the thing that keeps me going, Huntington. So you need to find your thing. And also I find that twagale tugane, women want to feel secure with you. And if you're too tiny, you don't really look like you can secure. You can be security for her. And I know we have been told that when you have money, that's enough security for a woman. Balimba. balimba kiringa mwene nnyashi omukazi asoloberawo ng'alina obwongo ng'alina buli kimu naye bwe kuba tekuli nnyashi kibulamu. Kati naffe women want to feel like if there was an attacker, even if you would not oyinza okuba tajja sobola kulwana, but she wants to feel like if there was an attacker, she knows she can rely on you to at least fight back. And that's what the gym kind of gives you. The gym gives you the look of, yeah, I can fight back. Edwin Mugerwa, good evening. Arthur, I want to buy a Toyota Wish old model 2004, 2008. Buy. Na iwo boy inasende zigura Wish MP ya Valmatic. That's what you should be buying. Arthur, do you have a thoughts on relocating to a first world country? Kuva Uganda. Catholic music collection. I think I've thought about it. I have. And I think the day I decide to go, I will not come back. No kunzi kabajja kunzi ikeyo. And I don't think I've actually thought about it. I had all the chances. I started going abroad at 16 and I continuously went abroad all through my university years. I think the last time I went abroad to perform, and I've been going to perform, badinga ngenanga expatriate. Ngenda lero ni performing in China the next day. And home is home, guys. And probably that's one of the reasons why I'm giving you this topic here. What are you planning for your grandchildren? Home is home, and we have been made to believe that what we think Fengaba Vubuka does not matter. And probably that's one of the reasons why Jessica Jagambe abazukuru babere nebyabwe abazukuru bajja kwefako. I find that we are responsible for our grandchildren. Me, I'm responsible for my kids. One of the reasons I decided I was only going to have 2 children, because those 2 children, I can manage them, I can discipline them, yeah, I can put them in a certain direction. But at least with those 2 children, I know I can give them attention. You get it? So yes, Catholic Music Collective, I think it crosses my mind a few times, but then I never really dwell on it because I can achieve more when I'm here. I just feel like Fenga Abantu, we need to try and do more to make sure that whatever we want to do, yeah, chisoboka. So that's why I'm asking you guys, what plans do you have for your grandchildren? Because when I'm going to find about grandchildren, as long as you're going to have kids, you will have grandchildren. Is it really true that a small person can boost his muscles? Yes, you can. Me, I used to be small. We were talking with my wife, Mama Ban, and we looked at pictures of us. We started dating with her in when I was still at campus. She was in namukwana mu year 1, maybe so kabigana. Then in year 2, that's when we started to date. She was in year 2, I was in year 3. And when I was in year 3, I directed the play, and she was my assistant director. I think we had a connection there. And we were really small, and we went on working together over time. And we were really small. And then we looked at our pictures when we were there. We've really come from far. That's like in 2011, yeah? So that's about 13 years, right? Yeah, that's a long time. So yes, a gym. If you look at me before I go to gym, or if you look at me the weeks I don't actually work out, because there are weeks that are crazy for me. And I just want to shower and sleep. And the days that I really work out a lot, yes, you can. But the thing with muscle is you have to keep working out. You don't stop. The moment you stop, abantu abagenda mu gym bo bakimanyi tukiyita kuyika. Bolekera okuba ekyuma ng'oyika. So with gym, it's something that you need to do consistently over time. At least, make sure you find a day and work out. And because of my busy schedule, that's why I bought equipment. I actually have a welder who is going to make me a bench now. Because but the bench is one of the things that you will find only in the gym most of the times. So ngenda kola bench manyi gachi Uganda jiteke ye wange berika kati awone bench njina bwe namala olene bye birala ebigenderako. But yes, you can boost your you can become a little big by going to the gym. You'll be amazed the things you can do, and you'll be amazed at how great you look when you work out. So anyway, guys, what plans do you have for your grandchildren? What plans do you have for your grandchildren? Now, abamukufe, we have been made to believe, probably because of our history, some of them don't even have plans for themselves next year. Some of them live each day that comes with wabala, and we have been made to believe that that's how we should live. We have been made to believe that Mukama Katonda yasalawo. That's why we even have that thing, ngombo ya shake later. I'm not saying omutonzi si yasalawo, but I believe that omutonzi yatuwa amagezi ebintu ebimu tuberenga tusobola at least okuteeka mu ka plan, tusobola okubanga tusobola okwetegerera. That's what I believe, and I've seen it sometimes when you do things nga totaddeeyo mwoyo ng'olinze Katonda abikole naye ali busy. That's what I believe. God has a lot of things to do. Like there are two major wars that are happening in the world right now. We have Ukraine and Russia, and then we have Iran, I think, Israel and Pakistan. Yeah, so those are two major wars. I don't think that God is going to come and take care of you here in Uganda. So when I ask what plans you have for your grandchildren, I'm also asking what plans do you have for your children, because that's very important. Yeah, it's very important for you to have plans for your children before you have plans for your grandchildren. And then of course, what plans do you have for yourself? Man, I had started gymming, but the discipline and consistency, how do you keep up with gym? You just do. I find that I am motivated. Okay, you need to look at me when I'm saying this, guys. When you work out in gym and look mugged, I will tell you, chicks look at you differently. If you're the kind of guy that has like 3 chicks that are crazy about you, go to the gym consistently, in no time you will double the number to 6. So chicks look at you differently when you are a little bit mugged. And we don't want to, we really want to make ourselves believe as men that money is the important thing, but trust me, it's not. That's why men can have msajja asobola n'omukazi nga ategeera nnyo nga w'amagezi nnyo n'amuleka onagenda n'ekikazi kya nyashi okitegeera, because some of those other things are very important too. So yes, go to the gym, and if your the way you look doesn't motivate you, let the way those chicks look at you motivate you. For me, I have a lot of motivations. First, I really want to live long. And I know that, for example, when I do squats, how I feel when I've done squats is not how I feel before I do. And I feel like after I've done squats, I feel a little bit more healthier. My arms are stronger when I lift weights. My legs are stronger. My waist is stronger. And lower body, in Chris Fitness, we have a gamba. For us as men, the lower body is what gets weak. I don't want to be an old man that is old when I grow old. I want to be an old man that plays with my grandkids. Am I planning too far ahead? Guys, what's your plan for your grandkids? Only 2 kids, really. What you hit it big, oja kuyoya more, the mama Aban can't give you. No. Unfortunately, no. You guys will be surprised. I never wanted to have kids. Nzenga Arthur. And I never wanted to have kids because I looked at the world we live in, and there is a lot of misery in the world. And when I look at the number of kids that are struggling, today to church, and we saw a little girl, and Mama Ban said, "Oh, that girl is cute. She's going to be very cute." And then I reminded her that the kind of life, the quality of life that women and girls live makes their faces go crooked. Nga face ye ya chamamu nenga bomutunda bota ateko kuba yali badde muwala mulungi nenga face tebaji kubaluyi tebaji kola chinga ya chama buchami. You guys know that boboli mumbeera ambie ne face ye inengeri je chamamu o inengeri je otambula mu obubi simply because you're going through bad times. Yeah, so it's probably those are the reasons why I never wanted to have kids. Nango bulamu bwe nayitamu ng'omuntu nagenda okulaba nga yeah, I don't think people should be having kids with this world. And then then Mama Bani Mama now. And for her, she wanted 5, I wanted 2. We disagreed, and yeah, we had an argument where I actually told her, you know what, if you really want 5, my 2 are enough. You can go and get married elsewhere and have the number that you want. And slowly, I don't know what changed her mind. Slowly by slowly, she bought into my idea. I think figuring out that actually 5 kids is a lot. Very too tasking. If you want to give your kids enough attention, you're not going to have a lot of kids. But wozala abana abangi tosobola kubawa attention je wali wadde batono okitegeera abana. Me, I've seen people that have 4 kids, 5 kids, wabaawo abaana abatafuna kye balina kufuna, and I never want to be that kind of parent. So I have 2 kids and I never want to have more. I want to get in my 50s and I can go for a holiday somewhere. I want to take risks. Abana bozara abana banji, you cannot take risks. I can take a risk right now of not looking for a job because I know sobola gatta wano na wali nenfuna sente ezirabirira abaana bange. Okitegeera ezirabirira family yange, ezizimbira family yange other streams of income and all that. You can take risks boba tolina burden nene. Okitegeera. And some of you guys already know je mwakulira emu ku mbeera embi gye wakuliramu wagikuliramu because your parents had a lot of children. Abamu kumo you have black tax simply because your parents had a lot of children. And me, I never want to be there. I never want to place my burden on my kids, and I've seen a lot of parents that do that. Omwana olumala university ati ne batandika omugamba kati nawe weerera batoobo, like okay gye mwali mwegadangira omwana oyo yaliyo oyo kotandika omugamba aweerere batoobe ne balangira n'okumulangira tetwakulabirira tetwakuweerera ffe nawe weerera batoobo. There are so many things that motivate me to like stick to my 2 kids. Also when I look at my kids, we bansaba food hub, nsobola obawa food hub nga sigize nga seekubidde. I can go to food hub and buy them 1 tin of ice cream ey'omutwalo ne bagirya ne babwegera. If you have kids nga batano, that means you're going to have to buy 3 tins of okitegeera, so that means if you're going to be buying 3 tins, that's 30k. And joko mukuzaala abaana ne expenditure gye yongera. And I'm not preaching to you guys to have a small number of kids. It's just that me, I have nze nabara abara bingi Benjamin natuka nembala ngo omwana yeetaaga bobo muweredde bulungi ng'omulabiridde bulungi omwana yeetaaga ekitono ennyo miliyoni nga 19 okuva lw'omuzaala paka bw'omuggyako engalo 19 ng'ate ku university omututte Makerere ng'ekyali yakakadde kamu 2 ku buli semester. You get it? But if you want to take your kids to a good university, you want to take your kids, feed your kids well, take them to a hospital that is good, give them good clothes, and also you yourself continue having a good life, my brother, the number of kids matters. So anyway, what plans do you have for your grandchildren, guys? Katika nakatauni mukaraba ketulimu kibaita katauni ke Kavule Kusemuto Road. Kibaita katauni ke Kavule. Now people are selling land. That's why we have some flats coming up here. Omanyi olabire ekitundu nti abantu bamu tebatunda ttaka. Bwe kasitola be ekitundu nga temujjaamu bizimbe bya amaanyi. Okitegeera ate bw'olabira ebizimbe nga biringa bino ng'obuzimbe tebuggwaggwa kitegeeza n'abagulamu nabo bakyali baavuyavu. Yes, balinawo ku ssente naye nga baavuyavu. Okitegeera. So what plans do you have for your grandchildren? And guys, as I ask that question, this is important for us to put into context. When I talk about grandchildren, guys, I'm talking about people that hope to be remembered a little bit. When I grew up kuchare mutundu gye nakulira, there were old men whose names still sound. There was a man mutundu eyo bayitanga Walugembe. Paka kati erinnya lye likyatambula naye nga Walugembe alabika yafadda. Okitegeera Kyabaggu yakyali mulamu. Kyabaggu is the owner of Bukola Chemical Industries, the owner of St. Joseph of Nazareth. Okitegeera erinnya lye likyatambula mulamu balayino ne bwalifa bajja sigala erinnya lye bakyalyogerako. And there are bunch of people there abaafedda naye nga amanya ene waffe ne Matugalyo gayi bamuyita Zizinga. I think he was in government. Erinnya lye likyatambula, yafadda ne mukazi we n'afa ne bafiirwa n'abaana. kwegamba naye nga amakage bakyagamanyi okitegeera ate ng'era abaana be tebali bubi bazzukulu be tebali bubi. So when I ask what plans you have for your grandchildren, I'm thinking you have or you should have a certain level. I'm thinking you should have a level of plan for what quality of life you want your grandkids to have. I think me, I have an idea of what I want my grandkids to live like if they end up living in Uganda. Of course, I'm hoping that by the time my grandkids are born, we have a better healthcare system, we have better roads. I'm hoping that by the time my grandkids are born, to be better in Uganda, we'll have a better democracy if that exists. Or if you don't have a democracy, I'm hoping we can have a federal government. I'm one person that is in support for a federal government. And for the people that don't know federal government, the rough idea is that regions have their own regions govern themselves. You get, like, the easiest example would be Uganda has its own government, Bunyoro has its own government, Ankole has its own government, Bugishu has its own government, and together the leaders, the heads of those governments there, they come together and they deliberate for the wider thing. And me, I think the federal form of government would work, and we have seen it. We have seen how kingdoms are trying to develop their people because it's on a smaller scale and they're invested in more. So the kind of life that I hope my grandkids have is where their fathers, because I have boys, their fathers will actually look after their kids the way I'm looking after them, and that their fathers will have kids responsibly, and that their fathers will live responsibly to also see my great-grandchildren. And I hope to have grandchildren that have gone to school, because I know people have been saying with AI coming in, your level of education will not matter, your level of skills will not matter. It's going to matter. It's going to matter, because inze nebwemba mbona sibonabona nga muntu atasoma. Nze sibonabona nga muntu atasoma. I'll give you an example. Tuli mu katemba drama na yenze entegera yange ya drama kuba nabisoma, si entegera y'omuntu eyagenda n'asomera n'ayigira mbakayimbira as an apprentice. Nembonabona yaffe yanjawulomu sibonabona nga ye okitegeera. So yes, I know that education is going to still matter to my grandkids, to my kids, to my great grandkids. So yes, I really hope that my children will be responsible individuals, and I'm going to try and put that in them. Now, of course, one of the plans I have is that my grandkids will see their grandfather alive. It's one of the reasons why I work out in the gym. I used to run a lot until I realized what is safe, because Uganda is not that safe. And today I was talking to the guy that is welding my bench. Yewaka nangamba eyo nyini gye nalinzirukira batira yo wa boda ne bamusula mu kidiba okitegeera batira yo wa boda ne bamusula mu kidiba nangamba wakola bulungi okulekerawo okudduka ewantu. It's a deserted place. I really love running, but I thought I should not be keeping myself alive only to be unalived by thugs. Kati wano wetuli amazima simanyi we bayitawo, but ekisinza okundeeta eno kugula miyembe. Mujjukire gire emiyembe gye nagula buno obwaba n'obutono, njagala kugenda wali oli omukazi gwe nagulako. Kansobe comment zamwe. I want to figure out, I want to know what you guys have, what plans you guys have for your grandchildren. Abana balirya ebyabwe. WJK Traveler, why 2012 was in S2 nga nine dalu, but your love story with Mama Urban is so inspiring. Make it fifty. Tugenda kumiswaswa ngule tulabe. Guys, go to gym. I feel like I want to start a family. Watching from Dubai. Amina. Engineer Joshua. Moses 914. Yerisha, I'm team 2 kids are enough. Muzalemu abana abamu ku ebikabya mu bibabanja abana. My plans for my grandchildren is better position their parents. Jagenda oli mutuufu aguma neat way clever. Buli wona otegeka bazadde b'abazzukulu bo bazzukulu bo bagenda kubeera in a better position. Bazadde b'abazzukulu bo bw'otabafaako, bazzukulu bo bagenda kubonaabona. Bazzukulu bagenda kubonaabona. And we see that in so many families. Now, for you guys that are abroad, muyinza okuba embeera temugiraba eri e Kampala. Naye nze abantu mbabeeramu. Omuntu, you can see someone and you realize that okubonaabona kwabonaabona tabonaabona lwakubanga byabazadde be. I don't forget what I'm saying. Their parents were not prepared to raise them. Their parents were simply prepared to have them. We all know parents ababanja obubanja abaana baabwe abaana. Ozaala ddi tamubuuza abaana bogenda okuzaala obategekedde ki? Kuba naye teyategeka. There is a parent I was talking to. Ne mubuuza. Nangamba tenze, did they talk to me? So even them, let them go to the world. Let them go to the world. Nabo bajirabe. So I find that if you prepare your children, your grandchildren will be prepared very well. So I find that, guys, especially you guys that plan to live in Uganda, you plan to grow old in Uganda, you need to take your responsibility seriously. And one of your responsibilities is to make sure that this country is managed well. And said this is a hard conversation, but it's something that you need to remember. Guys, have you, and God forgive me if what I've seen is wrong, have you guys seen the Amin family and the Obote families? Have you seen their families, their grandchildren, how they are living? Like, for their grandchildren, you really have to be very brilliant to be able to survive in Uganda. That's why most of them bafurume gwanga. Or you have to be a bootlicker. Ontegera, I find that while these guys were doing whatever they were doing, I think they thought about themselves more than they thought about their grandchildren. Tebalowooza konti abaana baabwe balizaala bazzukulu baabwe. Era I don't think that at any one moment Obote thought, oh, where will my grandchildren survive? Will my grandchildren be able to come and say, I'm the granddaughter, I'm the grandson of Obote? You get? And will they be able to come and point to the things that I have done? And they say, my grandfather did this for this country, so he deserves to be celebrated, or I deserve to benefit from some of the things. Where one? So I don't know, guys, if I make sense, yeah? Guys, like I said some time ago, I'm making sure that I live long enough to tell the story of the things that are going on in this country. Yeah, buddy. Emiyembe Jamaica. Ejo mtwalo jirimu 15. Jirimu emeka. Njagala 2. Ompe nyongeza. Ati mpanga basobola nga tejongedde nnyo nga basobola ojirya over the week nga bali leero nencha kubanzira mugula weekend ejja nenyongeza enyongeza soko gidango otunula oli eno side nulabe nga oteekamu nenyongeza njirabe I won't know. So guys, remember when I said I want to live long enough to tell the story of things that have happened now? I think I want to live long enough so that I can tell my grandchildren and your grandchildren the things that happened in our lifetime. I want to be able to tell them the story of Kari. I want to be able to tell them the story of Yoweri Museveni, the story of Kyagulanyi, the story of Kizza Besigye, the story of Nasantege Sebagala, the story of Senkubuge Siasa. I want to tell them the story of For the Love of Cars. And one of my goals is to keep myself alive. So what do you have planned? What will you be doing for your grandchildren? And are you planning to live that long? because it's important. So okay to vile sino track in mwe mtaja sino track hizo kuja na yaga tunyingine mkana akakuba akafunda antegedde kale tumuviridde mubagayi mukimanyi ngenda yiga sino tracker ngenda yiga sino tracker bwe ndabala okuyiga sino tracker kubanga permit ya trailer ya sino tracker nyate kam permit ya trailer. Guys, what plans do you have? I think it's high time you started thinking about whether you want to have your kids in Uganda or not. And if you want to have your kids in Uganda and raise them in Uganda so that they have grandkids in Uganda, it's time that you guys started thinking about the future that your grandkids will survive in. I know bagenze batugamba nti bofa nothing else matters. Guys, something matters. I have seen when I in the high school, I saw my friends nga tebagala kumanya nga bachawa bachitaabwe nga their dads did nothing wrong to them nenga bonga bo babachawa lwaki nga babachawa because their dads could not provide effectively. Right? And I never want to be there. So one of the things that will enable you and your children be able to provide for your grandchildren, whether they are in Uganda or not, because we should be able to survive in our own country. Nga tetwetaaze kufuluma gwanga embeera emekunyiga otandika okulowooza nga Ugandan Catholic Music Collective walowooza esaawa eno Catholic Music Collective ekirowoozo kikusazeeko temporarily kigenda kubula. And one of the things that you guys need to know is that everything that is happening right now in our country is the responsibility of our parents and grandparents. Buli kintu ekigenda maaso mu ggwanga lyaffe was brought upon us by our parents and grandparents. Nothing happened accidentally. Okitegeera kwali entalo ezaaliwo ez'Obote n'Amini tezaaliwo accidentally, because Obote and Amin, if they went to battle, if they decided to start a war, they were helped by our grandparents and parents. Okitegeera and whatever happens 20-30 years from now is our responsibility. So yes, and I know the reason why you guys are watching this podcast is because you love your country, right? So if you're going to be the kind of person that is in love with their country and see your jagala, trust me. When chambira mulowooza nno nzijukira obawe nesi weewano weewano oleka nno nga weewano kasooke ntuuke mu kkoona liri nabe. Guys, the one thing that we should directly or indirectly, nayenga there is your contribution. In 2021, ekigenda okuba 10 years from, I saw people that refused to vote. Nze navuga pitch nengenda nenonda nenga ndaba abavuuka nga baganya okulonda nti tulondera ki. Right now your responsibility is not to lay back because tulondera ki. Your responsibility is to vote. Your responsibility is to talk about the things that are not going well. Watekwa kuba weewali. Okitegeera, your responsibility is to tell the world what is not going right, tell your government what they are not doing right so that they change and start doing things right. I don't know if I make sense. For your children and grandchildren, you're not responsible for the things that are going to happen 10 years from now, 20 years from now. Obanga mulio wila, you don't care what happens 20 years from now. I think you should not be having children. I think one of the things we have in Africa is that we have a very big population, but our population is made up of people that were produced or made by people that did not give a damn what happens in their country. And the moment you don't care what happens in your country, I find that gwajisura mu lusuubo. So yes, this broadcast najikoze for us to reflect on where we want our country to be 10 years from now, 20 years from now. Oyagala 20 years from now, engudo zifanane zitya. Oyagala. That's why some people join politics, by the way. When you find someone omuntu gomanyi kukyalo nayingira ne yesimba ku MP, ayingira ina zero eyo ngagamba. Of course, some of them are selfish, but most of them ayingira agamba njagala nkyuse my area of a board njagala nkyuse ebintu engeri gye bifaananamu, njagala nnyambeko okukola enguudo, njagala nnyambeko okutereeza kino, and that's their goal. SDI. Mr. Arthur, you're right. My dad gave birth to 7 children. We are only 2 boys and 5 girls. Now you can wonder and imagine how the task is gonna be okuzala ekika. Na yenze sikyendiko sibyendiko. Modric, how are you? Katwena Benjamin. Urban is a planned kid. Urban is not really a planned kid. Okay, they are planned kids. I know the way we say planned kids. My kids are planned kids. Teri ku wono nda future ngo bongirako abaana abalala. Naye guy gwe nkula njagala beeranga gwe. My plans for my grandchildren is better position their parents. Mr. Arthur, I bought the Madame Esienta UBQ. Thanks for your help in making choices. Now I want a car alarm. Remind me yammeka tukwatagane. Alarm ya mitwalo 25 including installation. Tracker ya mitwalo 3,545. Emmotoka togiteeka mu just gundi, togiteeka mu buteesi alarm, giteeke mu ne tracker. Kuba bagibba basobola gitwala namba. Ukitegeera, and I'm sure that's not what you want. So umpeemu sekendi nga 5 wano. You just for now enjoy the view. Nafuna kafaani kano mulowooza saamala. Mubale ku mmotoka katono nnyo. Maama Abani alina bye yantumye. Mukyaliwo? Abaliwo kale tugende maaso. Aramat photography. Ogamba otya baba. The way I'm struggling to get pregnant, let me leave Arthur alone. Ojja kufuna great na kintu. Okabebi ogenda kafuna. Okuzaala kye kimu ku bintu byemmanyi ebikyasinze okubeera ebyangu. Baby yo ogenda kumufuna. Ate togenda kuddamu struggling nga kyogeddeko wano. Togenda kuddamu struggling. Oba olina stress. Naye ko olina stress kati olina okujjejjako. Naye nga bagayi Sunday egenze etya olunaku olwaleero. Mugirabe sino tracker. Yiyo sino tracker etisse ebyana 2. Eyo gye njagala okuyiga eyo. Eyetikka ebyana ebingi. Anasibu nagula amajiruli naye nina ssente za goleero. kanga ataziwezezza leero ninga naaligaguze baganguza meka ndabika nonziweza ndabika nziweza Leo ngenda batwala walako. Are you on the road Monday to Sunday? David Jack, mva mu gym. David Jack, mva mu gym, mva kwatamu. Mva kwatamu. But sometimes, yes, sometimes I'm on the road Monday to Monday. Sometimes I really want to rest tonight, yeah? Ebyokukola bwe bijja oba osaana n'obikola. Amanene gokka. Sometimes ebyokukola bwe bijja oba. But mpumula. Today I don't think I slept enough, but I had to go to the gym. Last weekend I did not go. And I got my firstborn this year at 26. I mean, kulika. Kati obulala obusatu obubulayo omwaka ogujja zaala. N'oguddako ozaali be baana kati basatu obenga owiziza bana. Kati then waliwo oyingira 30 nawo ozaali yabalanga babiri osobola owiza abaana 6. Okitegedde rama? Okitegedde kati ky'olina okukola. Nenga guys, what plans do you have for your kids, for your grandkids? Because abazzukulu baabo balaba bava mu ntumbwe ezo, you are going to be your blood. Kati mwabazadde abaana abalenzi, you actually have to pray a lot. Bazzukulu batabani bo baleme basiba baana. Okitegeera baleme basiba baana. And there are people that really work for their grandkids, like the late Mulwana. The late Mulwana actually worked for his grandchildren. Kati bazzukulu ba Mulwana tebasobola kubonaabona. Produce those kids naye mama, raising them is not easy these days. And abasajja bedda bo bazaalanga because okuzaala kwabwe okulaba buli mwana tewaliwo na kuweerera. Abaana babazaalanga waawezaamu emyaka 3 ng'ayiga okulima, ng'atandika kulima. Tewabangawo kuweerera, okujjanjaba tekwalingawo, baanywanga mululuuza, baanywanga omululuuza n'ekigagi, ekiwankulatta. Mwabatakudda mbajjajja, ekiwankulatta temukimanyi, naye kati ffe ekiwankulatta tukimanyi. Ekiwankulatta oba kyakolanga ki? Waliwo omululuuza, ekiwankulatta, eddagala ery'egganda. Kati abasajja bedda bajjanjabanga abaana baabwe bwe batyo, naye kati ffe ate kati abaana bedda n'okulwala tebaalwalanga, naye abaana b'ennaku zino balwala infection ya mitwalo 15. Abasawo balinga abali mu kkobaani. For us, our doctor aliwo abaana bange bwe bafuna infection, naye muganda naye kati gwe tolina ddagala lya mpeke, naganja ddikwa naye terijja kukola. N'aliipa, it did not work. Ninesanga nyina osasula liri bwe mala ate nsasule n'erya cannula. Kati nange nyina nafuna infection, naye ndowooza omusawo ayinza oba yanfeera. Abasajja tetufuna infection, naye mbu sebo nafuna infection n'anteeka ne ku cannula. You guys remember? Naye ng'ayinza okuba omusawo yanfeera mukko nga yankubanga amazzi otherwise. Naye nga abazadde bedda bo baalinga beesiimye nnyo. They did not really struggle that much. Kyova olaba nti waliwo bwe twadda mu period y'okuweerera, the parents that had a lot of children and not a lot of money, their children are struggling, their grandchildren are going to struggle, their great-grandchildren are going to struggle, their great-great-grandchildren are going to struggle. Why? Because their great-grandparents did not plan effectively. And you know guys, you can see it. Kati nze nabeera no mukyalo, I see it a lot. Abazadde babeerawo naye nga tebasobola kuzimba nnyumba zaabwe zimaliriza, ng'ennyumba zaabwe alinda mwana aliyanjula yaba agimaliriza. Okitegeera? Kati olaba ffe batalina abaana bangi, naffe ennyumba zitumenyaamenyamu okuzimba, zitumenyera ddala, tezitumenyaamenya namu. Kati gwe ku mwaka faanyi omuntu alina abaana 8. Eh. Ah. You should advise us on how to raise well-behaved, responsible, ambitious kids. Some kids these days order their parents around. Huh. Yeah. Aba nagezako na kola order ngagitandika ati. Ate simukubanga nasembayo mukuba daddanga muto namukuba ne yefukira. Yali muto nnyo. Siddanga mukuba. Good evening, Arthur. Where can one find your songs? Because it's like they can bring vibe in live mix. Enyimba zange engine ya mugarura kwa ziri kuno waliwo link. I promised to share. I don't know why I didn't share it. I promised to share the link again. Let me work on it today. Ekiwankulata bombo kayaya n'omwetango mululuza obugoro eddagala nga lyakolanga naye ennaku zino nayo terikyakolirako ddala. Ono afunye flat tire naye kaakati ne bw'ofuna flat tire kiba kyamakulu nnyo emmoloka n'ogimuvinga kati eno gyampisa waliyo ekinnya ekinene ennyo. Ekinnya kinene nnyo lwaki emmoloka teyagigize n'agizzaako ebbali at least. And I find these are things that driving school people should be teaching others, but they don't teach. Nze moroka yange tesobola kunfaako n'osanga ngirese mu kkubo bwentyo tekisoboka. I think because fe twavuganye moroka enkadde ne tuyiga nti you have to keep out of the way to avoid trouble. But abantu b'ennaku zino bava mu driving school bw'agira moroka weefiiridde w'agireka. You can't be doing that. So guys, what do you have? What plans do you have for your grandchildren? You need to understand kati zino ennyumba oziraba ze z'abasajja abaabanga abagagga ab'edda. Okitegeera ne bazaala abaana bangi abaana 10 naye batuuka era when your kids grow ne kubanga there are people that were saying bw'ozaala abaana batono bagenda kukula bonna baveewo n'abangi bavaawo nno waliyo ku maka g'abaali abagagga b'edda amaka gangi eno. Of course kati agamu bagafudde masomero agamu bagafudde loogi bajegali nga gawerawera. And of course gamasanyazi jegali. And this is not, I did a TikTok in the morning where I was talking about driving 5 kilometers for 30 minutes, yeah. And I used to run that place. I used to run that place, and I used to run it in like an hour because I would do 10. So I would do 5 go, then 5 come back home. Because and of course that also made me reflect that and we're not talking about it as fe because ba Museveni, ba Besigye in their 30s they were doing something for their country, but somehow they have made us fe. They have made us reluctant. They have made us believe that our country does not matter. The only thing we should do for our country is pay taxes. But when you pay taxes, you need to ask for accountability. That's what we have been made to believe. She told me. So one thing I realized about some of those old people, chebaliko balinze kukwegendera tebakati fe emyaka gyaffe mwabali in your 20s, late 20s and 30s, yeah. The guys in their 40s right now are struggling with tuition. Abo tuyinza bayinza okubanga ne byayagadde okufaayo ebizibu bingimu naye kati mwabatanafuna bizibu bingi abaana bamwe bakyali mu primary bambali mu kindergarten. I find that probably it's us, like me, my kids are still in primary. It's us that should be minding where their country is going. To minding. Some of you guys should go and stand for mayorship in your areas. LC5, you should be doing that. The guys that have always been interested in politics, at least, because I've seen a lot of people that complaining abagamba ojane sente zo namwe abali ebweru ozirete Kampala wanira ne zifa. Probably that's the reason why most of them bakomonga bazimba apartment, at least mu apartment sente zigenda kubera mute zijja maraga vamu okitegera, but the rest of the businesses are not reliable at all. Zita business ziringa zibagamba ati kuziti kati mulaba wetland ngeno And these people have been very vigilant. People are not building in these wetlands. I don't know if a matafari go on a wetland, but wetlands and the moment people start building in these wetlands, they will be affected. Let's get a ton of amazi. Nekasta wetland tebagizimba amazi gasigala eno wansi. Bali abali wali they don't really get affected. Yeah. So but ekifonga kino ekisenyi bwe kiti kibeera kinyogoga ekiro. Kibeera kinyogoga. That's the one thing I know about places like this. Nalinzimbe ko mu wetland. Wabeera wanyogoga. But people are building responsible houses this way. Abantu bazimba ennyumba ez'obuvunaanyizibwa. Mpitirivu naye kati nze wantu bwe watinga ekisenyi nkirengerako wali sizimbawo. Njagala wantu wakalusi kyagala wantu wafaanana kisenyi wadde. Because nali ekasanga tinga nazimba waggulu wa kisenyi naye maama. Abantu b'omu kisenyi eri bwe baazimba bati amazzi ewaffe nayo ne gatuuka. Bitandika okustrugglinga. Good evening, Nick Wabuyi. How are you? Andrew Nsubuga, I got twins this year, a boy and a girl. Katina chifude. Nedda sebo Nsubuga. Nedda sebo. Ababalongo tubala abamwana omu. They are the same. You need to bring more children to this world. Abalongo abeera mwana omu. Oyina okuzaala omwana omulala. Nsubuga sebo. Twetaaga omwana owokubiri abalongo. They are one person. Naye nga congrats Salongo bweza. Actually, Andrew, you should add a Salongo at the beginning because Salongo is the title. You should be saying Salongo Andrew Nsubuga. That title sounds nice. Sounds nice. Of course, kati nzerinye lyange rhyming abulungi na Salongo. Salongo Arthur Kisenyi naye lyo li rhyming Salongo Andrew Nsubuga. Lyange telijja ku rhymingira yo bulungi. Network eyinza okutusumbwa mu maaso awo. So let me read. Agumenito oyagala twins zisaba agalako. Where is that side? Ero tuli matugga. Arthur, since I'm an enthusiast of events, I'm planning to build a legacy. My grandkids will find and carry it in such events. Era jajja wawe yali amanyi and they have to carry awutandise okwogera. This is how someone can park in the middle of the road and leave their car there. Other drivers should sort themselves. They also nikugambe ate guy abadde waawo ng'asita minenge motoka just got a flat tire. With a flat tire you can move your car to the side. Okitegeera. You can move your car to the side. Modric, I'm going to put the link there for you guys. Also tell Andrew that abalongo tebabeera ba last bones mu Buganda. Andrew, Salongo owulidde? Are you planning to add ate? I thought you had finished producing. Nze namala. Sisobola kwongerako. David, ndeka. Ndeka sisobola na kwongerako. Sisobola. No. Abana nga babeeyi. Mwe muddaawo. Abana kids will be there at school hearing their friends talking how they went to KFC, to Cafe Java's, ngagwe you're grassing to buy them simple meat because you have a lot of them. You have 5 children, so you have to buy 2 kilos of meat every day if they are to eat meat at least. Ngabogenda ku food hub, pizza ogula 5, nebogenda ku buy 1 get 1 day tebikumala. Hey, you guys. They can't. Nabo bulamba chaliba twalina ku high school. They had their parents, both of them. Nenga bagayi tebagala bakitabwe because their fathers could not provide effectively. Okitegeera kati ne weebuuza omuntu okyawo otya taata wo. Okitegeera ninga taata alina abaana nga 12. Crusade mugirabye. Ate neyo team erabika ejja mu Crusade yabadde quite. Ejja ku Crusade waliwo ne meeting z'ekyalo wano. Ekino ekyalo nga kiri active. Buli Sunday babeera ne meeting. Kati bano baani? Team no stress yagaliza ofune. Team no stress yagaliza ofune. Like I think it's a cooperative union. Or it's a SACCO. My guys are out and Nakurataka. Muna Mataka anti mayitirivu eno. I was talking to one of my neighbors. Aliawe wafeka. Yayongedde n'agenda esemuto n'agula eka 12. Zagenda okulimiramu. Actually, yataddeyo dda farm kati acres 12. Of course, kati there are people like Arthur that will never dig. Nze sijja kulima nagaana. Nja kulima naye mu ngeri endala. I will not be a farmer. I will not be a cattle keeper. I will not rear chicken. Okujjako enkoko ez'okubeezaawe wakanga buli mwezi ndyako enkoko emu. Zezo zenja okulunda. Nneme kulya nkoko nkuba eddagala era njagala nkoko nganda. Gundi okomawo dipade. Naye n'enkoko zange nganda nga 2 mu nnyanga weeziryawo ewaka. Nga manya nti I'm covered. We can be eating 2 chickens every weekend. Tweyagala abaana bayoyabuyoya. We want KFC, we cut it. You want KFC, cut that chicken and we eat it. Is Matuga expensive? Everyone can buy land in Matuga. Yeah, but me, I don't advise anyone now to buy Kabaka land. People buy up to 10 by 10 feet. Kutaka ya Kabaka bosanga nga baga plot ya million ebera foot nga 5 ku 10. You want to buy standard plots, ejosanga abantu nga bazimba ennyumba nene entuuka nga enzigota nyingi. Mr. Arthur, my baban should give you a baby girl. How are you? Kabaka land wish. Kati naye nakugambye nti yes tuli lubuto. Wa mundeke. Ate nebaza mukasi na mwana muwala. Your pressure sigisobola. Some of you guys that have baby girls are going to be on pressure for 10 years to come. Hey. Era salongo Andrew Nsubuga. Zimbe chikomeranga chumba ate okole nnyo sente. Okole nnyo sente abaana abawala abali myaka 19 balira ku chips. Omugwira chips oyo naalya. Omwana amugwira chips naye naalya. Oli amugwira soda naalya. Baba tata baabwe tebakola nnyo. Osegera. Neera ne bwokola nnyo n'obimuwa byonna. Atista missing abatala bako abamuvugira ku gaali. Oli namuvugira ku gaali naalya. Omwana omulaba osobola mukolera obulamu bwo bonna. Najja ligaseyo yonna n'agiyiwa mu lunaku lumu. Video nga kafulumye. Okitegeera ekitali ku mwana mulenzi. Lekali godaka gwe n'okuleka. Abaana abawala tebategeerekeka. Kankuze bano abaana abanga abalenzi. I thought that in Matuga place you could have peace and quiet. So shocked to see preachers there. Kati ene wafeteri bakomeno. Bulanze neyongera ddala nyingirira ddala munda. Kati this is not part of the estate. Kati kino kyalo bwalo kyovola beno eno teri mayumba gali yawo gakanga. Mayumba gakanga gali eri ewange gyembeera. Gali eri ewange gyembeera. Kati no ngenda basiibulira wano. Wano ngendo basiibulira. You remember this, there is a time we came here and to dairy side, kati ngenda basiibulira wano kambala gende ddwaliro eri eno. Eno oli amalwaliro amanene ssebo liiryo liri munda naye ddene. Olirabye, that's a hospital. It's a private hospital. It doesn't have a lot of traffic because I think they don't market properly. I'd have an approach to market for them if they sought the advice of the professional. Kati mbasiibulira wano bantu bange. Mwebale kubeera ku broadcast. I hope it has been a good 1 hour and 9 minutes. Njabala bencha ku machanga ate tuzeemu okuwaya. But byonna byokola guys, you should be thinking, what am I planning for my grandchildren? What sort of country do I want them to grow up in? Era bw'oba oyagala abazzukulu baleme kulira mu Uganda because tekusanyusa. I think this is the time you should be planning your exit out of Uganda. Ogende abaana bammwe bennyini mbazaalira eri n'abazzukulu basobole bazaalira eri. Aye mbazaalira eri tobazza n'eno. If the situation eri wano mu ggwanga lyaffe si nnungi ng'ate era muli owulira you're not responsible to make sure that you change it. I find that this is the time for you to start your migration. Ogenda abaana obazaalira eri ate era oleme bazza eno. Okitegeera kyekye nabagamba nze the day I think that I can no longer manage Uganda, I will go out, I'll take my entire family and will not return. And It's one of the reasons I'm acquiring all the skills I'm acquiring, all of them, because I have to be multi-purpose in case I decide. Which take it. But I've not decided. I still love my country. I'm still here. Ebintu bingi bye tuyitamu ne bikulowoozesa kibula Ugandan Catholic Music Collective alowoozeza naye amaanyi oba naye nga kyonna kyekiri, guys, don't give up on your country. It's us to tell each other tulina okwegamba. One of the ways you change the things that are happening in your country, you as you, is in 2026 genda olonde. You vote for someone that you know that will live up to the things that you want to live up to. Njajja kuyambako okukola the Uganda you want your grandchildren to live in. Don't vote for someone that will not do that. Natuha Bailon, J. Seka, Judge Jones, Info, Gilbert Amanya, Idris M. Katwena M. Benjamin, George Senkubuge Mugalasi, Joshua Mix Farm, Joseph Bali Kudembe, Chamba de Hannington, Bukenya Abi, Kutosi Nicholas, Kagwa Dennis, Travel Live Vlog, Owen, Goretti Nachi Into, Sereko Starch, Derek Lule, Jerisha Motors, Edwin Mugirwa, Aramat Photography, Ugandan Catholic Music Collective, Musime Kim Job, Mose 914, Engineer Joshua UG256, WJK Traveler, Katwina M. Benjamin, na kukuzomi mdinga mutamu. WJK Traveler, Vinny Katz, Rashid Jagen, Agumanitwe Clever, Edan, Modric, SD, John Zim for Rama Charity Organization, David Jack to Musime, Engineer Mugarura, Andrew Subuga Salongo, Nico Abuyi, Brian Joy, guys, kyonna kyekiri kyonna kyekiri mwala video gye uploading yesterday, kyonna kyekiri gula emmotoka. More people die because of road accidents as pedestrians than the people in cars. More people die on borders, yeah, than those people in cars. And more passengers than drivers and riders die. So buy a car. Mude atanaba video gendo ojirabe. It's a report. Jenasanze. And 55% right now, because that's 2023, 55% of road traffic injuries are because of borders. Then nekudaka abebigere, nekudaka abemotoka, nekudaka abegari. So whatever you can, guys, if muli the peace and quiet in this place, ate sinatuka wange. Ate wange wali quiet. Yo, whatever you do, guys, buy a car. Bw'ogenda kuwangalira mu Uganda wano, let one of your big expenses be a car. Let one of your big expenses be fuel. Your life is safer in a car. And when you buy that car, drive safely. Don't drink and drive. Badde nina evidenti nako fani. Mmanyi twaguze fani y'essimu teri kuddamu kubuguma. Terinamu yadde buguma kano kafani. Mmanyi kaliko akabaati akatoka ne kanyogoga. Tegenda kuddamu kubuguma. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for being part of this broadcast. I don't take it for granted. Namwe abali mu Kamoli, namwe abagenda okulaba this video later on. If you're watching this video in the morning, tomorrow, probably at midnight, thank you very much. Don't you forget to start planning for your grandchildren as well. Because nebo zarabuzazi zibana nobalekawo. I think nze nga taata wange teya planning abazzukulu. And that's probably one of the reasons why he wasn't really careful with his life. My dad is one of those men that died of HIV in the 90s. He died in 1992 when I was 2 years. And so did my mom, 1992 when I was 2 years. They both died of HIV. I think that was the period when it was really bad. So when you start thinking about your grandchildren, I find that one of the things you're going to do is you're going to be really careful with your life. Then I find you're going to make better decisions as well. Because one of the things, Nabagambe my dream car yesterday. It's probably because of my kids as well. It's much more expensive if you have to take your kids on a holiday and you have to pay for a hotel everywhere. But if you have that van, and yes, so you can keep going to places. Guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much for being here. May the good Lord bless you. Ciao.